Go on, push it. Ladies and gentlemen, today another very serious topic. The chairman, the CEO of Tesco, which is one of the largest supermarkets, if not the largest supermarket in the United Kingdom, has come out with a very dire warning for us all. And he's been talking about the sharp increase that he's expecting in food prices, 5% across the board before springtime. So we're really talking about this month and next month. Again, this links back to what I said would happen. Rising energy prices at such an alarming rate have to get passed on to the consumers. And it's not just that. You have to bear in mind that a lot of the stock that many of these supermarkets and other stores have purchased and have in long-term storage, they purchased at lower prices. So of course, the GDP figures were a lot better in Q4 of last year. Everything was up, everything was great. Even Q1 of this year, everything's great. But it's because they had already stocked up on lower priced when costs were lower, and they're selling them now at higher prices. We've been seeing 1% or so inflation on a monthly basis. So now what's going to happen is they're going to have to restock all of their goods and services at the now higher prices, meaning that these costs have to be passed on to you. And remember, if one supermarket or grocery store does it, everyone else is going to follow suit. This isn't just isolated to one supermarket. And again, this ties into the warning we have and the concern I have for the older generation right now. Every year we see pensioners and older people dying because they have to choose between, do they heat their home or do they eat? And this is quite a despicable situation that has been created right now. And if we just look at lower income people in our society, these are the people who are going to suffer the most. If that is you, I would highly recommend following the guidance in this video, going out and getting stocked up immediately. Because you know the mantra, do you heat or do you eat? That is going to be the reality for millions of people later on this year. Okay, so the main thing that we are actually looking for as we walk around is long shelf life food. So this is the sort of stuff that is canned or is in a packet, like dry pasta or chopped tomatoes that are canned. Pretty much anything that is canned will last you for a good period of time, sometimes as long as 3 years. And don't get fooled by a lot of these labels and the branding by these huge food companies, which are just not good companies, a lot of the big food companies. I'm not talking about the grocery stores here, I'm talking about the actual food companies, these huge conglomerates. Some of this stuff they're putting in this food is absolute crap. There's a lot of chemicals and artificial stuff which is just not good for you. So what my wife and I always do is we look at the ingredients list. But honestly, we don't do this very often because we're already decided upon the products that we buy and what we eat. But sometimes you might see these cheap food items and they don't have fancy labels and things like that. But if you actually look at the ingredients, they're usually very simple. There aren't 100 ingredients in it and artificial flavorings and colors. It's usually just 3 or 4 ingredients. And to be honest, if you ever do need to use this stuff, so this is your long life prepping type food, if it ever gets to that point, it doesn't really matter what the food tastes like to some degree, because if you're hungry, you're going to eat it. And that's another point, you don't want to be buying any food that you don't like the taste of. For example, there's a couple of food items that I just don't like the taste of. Very few, because I pretty much eat everything, but there's a couple of things I just don't really like the taste of. I'll give you one example, beetroot. I've never liked the taste of beetroot, so I wouldn't go out and buy cans and cans of beetroot just in case I ever needed them. I'm not ever going to need them when I could replace them with another food item. And another tip here is that if you don't intend to eat this food, I mean personally we do eat all of this food, but if you don't intend to eat it, you can always donate it to your local food bank a couple of months before this food expires. This way you're helping the poorest in society to still eat when times get really tough, And these times are coming, ladies and gentlemen. Mark my words, we are going into some difficult times in the near future. And at the same time, you are looking after yourself because you're actually storing these foods for a long time. Overall, the most important thing is you don't want to waste food. And if you're worried that some of the food you buy might expire, you can actually use a number of tracking apps. So these are apps that you keep on your phone, and they will tell you the sell by date. You just input the sell by date on the app, the quantity, and then what it will do is it will update you nearer the time if that food item is going to expire. So then you can just start planning these items into your meals. Now, another top tip I want to give you is that if you do have grocery delivery services in your area, then this is a much more convenient and faster way than actually walking around the grocery stores, because you can just look on the supermarket website, see what deals they have, see what bargains they have on food items and whatever else long life storage items you need, and then you can add them to the basket whilst they are on sale. You can then look around all the different websites from the comfort of your own home. You can do 4 or 5 websites in a single morning and just stock up on whatever they have on sale. Because remember, it doesn't matter how rich you are, it's all about frugality. Because the less you waste on food items and other products, the more you have to invest or save or pay down debts. If you have a lot of debt right now, you definitely don't want to be spending huge amounts of money on luxury foods. You need to be paying down that debt, ready for what is coming. Okay, well, I hope this video helped today. Remember, go out and get stocked up before they increase these prices by roughly 5% over the next month or so. Regardless of your supermarket, get stocked up on your long life food now. I hope the video helped. Take care. God bless. I'll see you next time, and you can watch more of my videos on the channel here. This is one of the most stocked up Tesco's I've ever seen.